One of the most frequently asked questions I get is, Maggie, how do I actually break into data science? And every time my first question back is, which part are you stuck on? Because the people who struggle the most, I find, usually aren't lacking motivation or intelligence. They might be genuinely confused at a crossroad or following a roadmap that's either too vague to act on or one that was written before AI changed how this work actually gets done. And it's worth starting with why becoming a data scientist is even a goal still worth pursuing. The Bureau of Labor Statistics median salary for data scientist is $112,000 a year. That's more than double the US median wage across all occupations. The top 10% clear $194,000, and despite everything you've heard about tech layoffs, the BLS is still projecting 34% job growth in this field through 2034, which works out to roughly 23,000 new openings every single year. This is still one of the best career bets you can make. You just need to go in with the right strategy, which is what this video is all about. So in this video, I'm giving you the full picture, the exact skills to learn and in which order, how AI fits into the job now, the path into data science that most people overlook, how to build a portfolio that actually gets you callbacks, and how to survive the interview process without losing your mind. So do you need a degree? A 4-year degree in a relevant field like statistics or data science is not a hard requirement. And I want to be direct about that because I know it's a question that a lot of you are anxious about. I've personally seen people transition into data science from education, biology, finance, physics, and completely non-technical fields without going back to school. What employers actually care about is whether you can do the work. Can you write clean Python code? Can you build a model, interpret the results, and explain what they mean to a business stakeholder? Can you demonstrate that in a portfolio? That said, a quantitative background in math, statistics, CS, or economics does give you a foundation that is faster to build on. Knowledge such as statistics and linear algebra take much longer to absorb when you're simultaneously learning Python and building projects from scratch. And a master's degree can open certain doors at research-heavy companies, but for the majority of data science roles out there, especially at product companies and startups, your portfolio and your ability to perform in a technical interview will carry significantly more weight than where you went to school. Let me walk through what you actually need to learn in the order it makes sense to learn it. First is Python and SQL. Python is the working language of data science. There's simply no realistic alternative right now. Start with core syntax, then pandas for data manipulation, and matplotlib or seaborn for visualization. For SQL, you need to get comfortable with joins, window functions, aggregations, and subqueries. SQL gets tested in almost every single data science interview, regardless of how modeling heavy the role is. So don't underestimate it. The second core pillar is statistics. This is the layer most people skip and then get exposed on in interviews. You need a working understanding of probability distributions, hypothesis testing, confidence intervals, p-values, and the basic of experimental design and A/B testing. This is the thing AI genuinely cannot shortcut for you, and interviewers know it. If you can reason through a statistics problem clearly out loud, you stand out immediately. Before we move on to the machine learning and AI portion of the skills, I want to stress the importance of structured learning and how it can set you up for success. If you're serious about becoming a data scientist fast, especially if you're starting from scratch or moving over from analytics or another data role, I always recommend DataCamp. I've partnered with them for this portion of the video, and I'm really excited to tell you more about their associate data scientist in Python track. This career track gives you a real roadmap instead of piecing together random tutorials. You go from Python fundamentals into pandas, statistics, data visualizations, EDA, data cleaning, functions, regression, hypothesis testing, experimental design, and machine learning with scikit-learn and tree-based models. And what I genuinely like is that it's hands-on the whole way with interactive coding, skills assessment, and real projects, which is great for you to start building a portfolio. Then when you're ready to prove these skills to employers, DataCamp has an industry-recognized data science certification program. So you're not just learning, you're validating your skills through timed exams and practical work. If you want one structured path to learn all the data science skills I covered in this video in one place, check out the links in the description below. The third pillar is machine learning. Start with supervised learning. Work on problems involving linear regression, logistics regression, decision trees, random forests, gradient boosting, then tackle the unsupervised algorithms. Clustering with k-means, dimensionality reduction with PCA, scikit-learn is your primary library for most industry work. You need to make sure that you understand your evaluation metrics such as accuracy, precision, recall, AUC, and more importantly, know when each one is the right metric project to care about. From there, get exposure to deep learning fundamentals through PyTorch or TensorFlow package, even if you don't go deep early. The fourth core pillar, of course, is working with AI, and this is very, very important. The way data scientists actually do their job has changed, and your roadmap needs to reflect that. In practice, this means a few things. You're using GitHub Copilot or Cursor while you code. By this, I don't mean to write code for you without understanding it, but to move faster and catch issues. You're using LLMs to help explain model outputs, summarize documentation, and debug. You're working with unstructured text data far more than data scientists did 5 years ago, which means having at least a working knowledge of how embeddings work, what a vector database is, and when it's appropriate to reach for an LLM versus a traditional ML model. You don't need to understand the ins and outs of large language models, but you do need to be fluent in knowing how AI tools can help you work better. Beyond the tools themselves, if you're doing a project and you build a small RAG pipeline, or you fine-tune a model on a domain-specific dataset, or evaluate a language model's output systematically, that signals to hiring manager that you're working the way data scientists work now, today, and not 5 years ago. Communications also cannot be overlooked. Your communication skill, your ability to think from a stakeholder's perspective, in addition to your domain expertise, is now more important than ever with AI. Hiring managers consistently say the differentiator at the offer stage is whether a candidate can explain what the data actually means to product managers, executives, and people making business decisions. Practice explaining what you're building to someone who has never heard of a random forest. In terms of timeline, starting from scratch with consistent study, you're looking at a 9 to 12 months to reach a genuinely competitive entry-level standard. If you already have a math or programming background, start applying while you practice your interview skills and build your portfolio projects. The most reliable way into data science for a lot of people right now is actually not to aim for a data scientist title first. Starting as data analyst, business analyst, or analytics engineer, and then moving into data science after 12 to 18 months is how a significant number of working data scientists actually got there. These roles are more accessible at the entry level. They give you real business context and data exposure that personal projects simply cannot replicate. And transitioning internally is drastically easier than applying code for a data scientist role from the outside or getting referrals. The same logic applies to industry. If you have a background in healthcare, finance, marketing, operations, targeting data roles within that industry dramatically increase your chances, because domain expertise, especially in the age of AI, is a genuine differentiator that a CS grad without industry context doesn't have. And let's talk about your data science portfolio. The portfolio bar has gone way up. If you still have the Titanic dataset or the Iris classifier project in your portfolio, it actually will hurt your chances of getting a callback, because you clearly did these by following a tutorial and recruiters have seen them thousands and thousands of times. What works today is specificity and business framing. Every project should answer 4 questions. What problem were you solving? Why does it matter to a business? What did you find? And what would someone do differently because of your analysis? I would highly recommend not to overlook any of these 4 questions, especially the last point, because an accuracy score doesn't tell anyone what to do on a Monday morning. If you don't know what project to build, start building in the domain that you already know. For example, if you're previously a nurse, use public health datasets. If you had a marketing background, then do a customer behavior and segmentation project. Finance, build something around financial data, etc. Domain familiarity adds credibility when pure technical skill doesn't, and it shows that you understand the problem, not just the tools. Aim for 3 end-to-end projects covering data cleaning, exploratory analysis, a modeling approach, and a clear output. Put them on your GitHub with a clean README written as if you are presenting to a manager who doesn't code, and post them on LinkedIn with a short write-up. Referrals are disproportionately how people are getting hired right now. The data science interview loop can be a lot. There is often a recruiter screen, technical phone screen, take-home assignment, final round with SQL challenges, and ML case study, statistics component, and behavior questions, all for just one single offer. First of all, you should practice SQL weekly, not just before the interviews. StrataScratch and LeetCode have real questions from real companies. This is the one thing something candidates most consistently underestimate, and it gets tested hard even at modeling heavy roles. For ML questions, practice explaining your reasoning out loud, not just your answer. Instead of saying, I used a random forest model, you should say, I used random forest because the relationship and the data were non-linear, and I needed a robustness to outliers. For behavioral questions, use the STAR framework and always anchor your result in a number. For example, the model reduced false positive rate by 23%, saving the operation team roughly 40 hours a week. Lands in a completely different way than just saying the model performed well. If you don't know how to use the STAR framework, I share a lot of short videos on my Instagram channel with reenactments of how you can answer some of the most frequently asked data science questions in real life. And lastly, treat your network as part of your interview strategy from day one. Before applying anywhere, find out if you know someone at the company or someone who does. A warm introduction in this applicant pool is worth more than a polished code application. The people breaking into data science right now are not necessarily more technically talented than you. What separates them is specificity. They picked a domain, they built projects that actually meant something to them or to the industry, where they got their work in front of real humans instead of just uploading to GitHub and hoping. They treated networking as a learnable skill, and they stayed consistent through the long stretches where nothing seems to be working. The market is harder than ever and the bar is higher, but you can 100% do it if you put your mind to it. I've seen so many of my students do it, and you can too, and I believe in you. If this video helped, hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people in your exact position to find it. Subscribe if you want to keep following along, and drop a comment telling me where you are right now in your journey. Maybe you're just starting, mid-learning, or actively interviewing. I read everything, and I will see you guys in the next video.